And that should be live. Yep, there we go. Hello, hello. And welcome back to Sorin's Journey. A little bit late tonight. I got been talking to my flatmate about Warhammer and ended up completely losing track of time. But here now, ready to get back to Stormblood. Last week I think we just started Stormblood and entered into Gyr Abania for the first time, arrived at Rhalgr's Reach, and helped out Meffrid and Lyse a bit with finding recruits for the Resistance. But Meffrid wasn't the only one needing help, so let's see what Sorin can do for Mhigo. Excuse me. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you and the Scions again for patching me up after I bled all over your floor. I owe you my life, and I won't forget that. Furthermore, it was rude of me to run off without saying a word. It's all well and good me claiming my duties here couldn't wait, but a parting thank you was the least you deserved. My apologies. It's not a problem at all. Anyway, Conrad said you could use some help. And thank you. Now, to business. Commander Kemp's entrusted me with a formal reply to be hand-delivered to the Alliance leadership. It covers everything we discussed, as well as detailing the disposition of our forces. What I need is an escort, 1 or 2 men at most, so we can make it to the wall swiftly and without attracting undue attention. Very well, I shall join you in this. General Alden commands the forces at Castlemorians. Should be simple enough to see it into his hands. Great, that's just what I wanted to hear. When you're ready to depart, meet me at the pass leading out of the Reach. Right. Back to the wall. I suppose when we're there as well, that I can see if General Urban has any more plans for what to do now we're here. No, I guess we're still looking to leave most of the fight into the Resistance. We're just... well, the Alliance is just going to support them behind the scenes. I'm guessing, well, at the very least the Scions are going to be involved more directly. So, ready to head off? Got everything you need? Good, then let's be off. And off we go. Still that tower. What? Castellum Villadina. Lyse called it. Lyse? Oh. I don't want to get in fights with golems. Just keep pressing on. Oh. Well, I'm here. I can't say I didn't get spotted, but only by the wildlife. Quiet! Hear that? That was a cerulean engine and backfiring. Imperials. Ye gods, you have preternatural senses. I didn't hear a thing. When you grow up hunting in these lands, you learn to discern the sounds that could mean life or death, be they of a predator or a patrol. From what I'm hearing, we have a 7-man patrol augmented with a single Magitech armor. A wide search pattern, divided into 3 teams. I don't think they know we're here. It's risky, but we should split up and try to take them all by surprise at the same time. We don't want them calling reinforcements. 3 teams? 3 of us. Nothing for it then. Where are they? Head north. You should see them long before they see you. I'll deal with the ones to the south. The armor should be just to the west. Sorin's best equipped to deal with that. We attack in 5. That should be enough time to get into position. Rendezvous in the west bank after. Any questions? No? Then good luck. Right. Yes, ma'am. Right. I need to remember I'm being involved in this. It's going to be a bit more military, I guess, than what I'm used to. Right. So this seems like as good a place as any to keep watch. And oh, get rid of the bird. That'll draw attention to me. Right. Okay, now just keep an eye out for Imperials and... There they are! Get the foot soldier out of the way first. Focus on the Magitech armor. This is... These aren't like the Reapers I fought before. I wonder if they're upgrades or maybe just an Ala Mhigo special. Anyway, that's what I was meant to deal with. Just hope Alize and Mhigo got through the rest okay. Oh. There they are. Mission complete, ma'am. Looks like everything went to plan. Not that I'm surprised. The free soldiers I faced didn't put up much of a fight. Most of the Imperials we get out here are conscripts from other provinces with little training and even less conviction. It's grim work killing men and women like that, but don't doubt they'd do the same to you if the rules were reversed. And don't you dare pity a man in armour. Conscript or no, a soldier piloting one of those can kill a dozen good men in the blink of an eye. Not that I need to tell you that, after what happened at the wall. Yeah. Do you forget sometimes that a lot of the soldiers we fight are not even Garlean themselves, they're just signed up. Right, I believe we've rested long enough. We should resume our journey before someone notices they're missing patrol. That is a point. Onto the wall then. I wouldn't be surprised if there was someone watching from that tower. Ooh. Back to the shroud. Is everything okay? Mhigo, ma'am? We're clear. Only Alliance patrols ahead. You said the forces of Castromorians were under the command of Flame General Rauben Aldin, did you not? By Ralgar, the Bull of Ala Mhigo himself. Never dreamed I'd have a chance to meet the legend. Well, he's got a bit of a vested interest himself in this whole operation. Right. Oh, just avoid getting in that fight. General? Here have some friends. We've got a bit of a report for you. Oh, I didn't change the language. I was thinking about changing the language as well. I just kind of got that panic when I realized I was late to start.
彼女はアラミゴ解放軍の一員メナーゴ。
お初にお目にかかります。アラミゴの猛牛ラウバーン閣下とお会いできて光栄の限りであります。
よしてくれ。ここは闘技場ではなく戦場なのだ。
失礼しました。我らアラミゴ解放軍の指揮官コンラッド隊長からの書簡を預かってまいりました。
ありがたい。こちらの申し出を受けてくださるのだな。組織の立て直しが必要というそちらの事情についても了解した。
はい。書簡にも書いてある通り、鉄仮面の作戦に参加し命を落とした者も多く、人員不足はさらに深刻なものとなっています。それに地元の者たちから同志を募ろうにも相次ぐ作戦の失敗で解放軍の信用に陰りが。
故郷をアラミゴを奪還したいという思いはあっても、命がけの闘争に身を投じるには成功の希望が必要よ。
It was a bit of a rough situation out in Ala Ghanna.
確かにイルベルドのごとき先導者になるわけにはいかん。戦争である以上犠牲はつきものだが、その先に勝利の希望があるのだと示さなければ。
ならば父上、その希望を見せましょう。今の反帝国活動に必要なのは成功体験です。小さな作戦でいい。まず同盟軍と解放軍が協力し、帝国軍の部隊を打ち破ったという実績を作るのです。たとえ小さくとも勝利という事実が希望の灯火を灯すための火種となるでしょう。
Right, so
確かに帝国軍に勝ったという噂が広まれば、今まで以上に協力者が集まると思います。でもどうすれば。
私に考えがあります。
oh. Our scouts recently informed me of an interesting development at Castellum Villadina, namely the arrival of a shipment rumored to have come from the research and development facilities near the capital, containing prototype Magitech armor. It is our assessment that this armor is to be field tested here, most likely against Alliance forces, mayhap before the day is out. Damn it all, more Magitech weapons? That's the last thing we need. Your concern is not unwarranted, but we needn't despair just yet. The shipment is thought to have contained a single heavy unit and 1 or 2 support units. With a well-laid ambush, we are confident we can destroy them all, hindering their development and delaying future deployment. And should we carry this out as a joint endeavour with the Resistance, they will have their rallying cry. It would mean dropping all pretense about the Alliance not wanting to go to war with the Empire. But you'd have a lot more folk willing to stand up and fight if they knew they weren't alone. And you were going to have to do it eventually anyway. Exactly. And so what I propose is simple. We harry their patrols to bait them into bringing their prototype weapons to East End, where our Resistance allies will take them from behind. Simple indeed, and well within our capabilities. I see no reason to delay, especially if a field test is imminent. What say you? Assuming the Vice Marshal's intelligence is accurate, I agree with his assessment and fully support his plan. I shall notify my comrades at once. Understood. I shall have one of my men bring you the details of the plan anon. Right, well, looks like we've got our plan. Where do we fit into this? And we, for our part, will be fine with the Alliance, yes? I somehow doubt you were intending to sit this one out. Well, you're right on that point. I guess the simplest way is just to get involved directly. do wish the language changing settings were per character rather than system-wide. Especially given how simple it is to swap the languages. We've been careful to avoid needless shows of force this side of the wall, but that's all about to change. And when it does, you may be sure they'll send their new toys out to entertain us. I would ask you to participate in this operation, but from that look I see, it is a foregone conclusion. My thanks. Per Pippin's plan, we need to turn East End into an Imperial graveyard. You're a dab hand at this, and I'd be a fool not to use you. Head to this spot on your map. Right here, aye. A patrol should be along shortly. Deal with them, then rendezvous with the rest of us at this location. Go well, Sorin. Yes, sir. Right. Another Imperial patrol. I guess this is where the war really begins. Taking the fight to the Empire. Whatever they've got for us can't be worse than what I saw at the Praetorium. Right. Oh. Well, this is the point the general marked on my map. So just keep an eye out for an Imperial patrol. Oh. And that's dealt with. Now, head back to meet with the others before they send out these reinforcements. And hope that this fancy new Magitech's with them. Need to keep an eye out for currents. Would be quite helpful to be able to fly around here. So where's the... Oh, there they are. Sorry, General, just while I see it. If I can attune to this. Right. That'll be me ready to go later. General, reporting for duty. All went to plan then. Good. Our scouts report that the unit escorting the prototype weapons has left Castellum Velladina. The resistance is already in position, so we have but to wait for our guests to arrive. Right. So, that looks like the Magitech.
Things looked grim for us after Cartano, didn't they? Oh, how they doubted us. Yet here we are, right as rain, with fancy new toys to put through their paces. It's like all my name days have come at once.
Looks less like new Magitech and more like they've just designed new weapons for the Vanguard. Oh, time to get to work.
Well, 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 if it isn't Garland's little troublemaker. I can't wait to see the look on Xenos' face when I bring him your head.
Not quite gonna make it that easy for you.
If my secret weapons here don't grind it into mush. Attack!
Those secret weapons of yours are exactly why we're here. Alright. We can deal with their leader later. Guess I should be focusing on the prototype. Or right. Harbor grudge? Alize, I'll be honest with you, I don't remember who this man is.
Get after them, damn you!
Nope. More slashers. Oh. Oh. I think I'm doing okay, Alize. Thanks for all. Oh. More slashers. Oh. Back to focusing on the armor. It's definitely taking a bit more punishment than other vanguards I fought. More reinforcements. Focus on the vanguard. Secret weapons of great power. Yep, I can see he's up for magic bits. Right. Right, there's the reinforcements dealt with. Back to focusing on this one. More magic bits. Oh, that's a lot. Ow! Oh, thank you, General. Oh, more mines. Oh. Two of them this time. This thing can certainly take a beating. If they do start mass producing these things, that's... Right, got him under retreat. He who fights and runs... What the... Who in the hell are you lot? For Ala Mhigo! Let none escape! Hey, Money! You haven't missed too much. I was a bit late starting up today. Right. Go to... I recognize... That's self-destruct. Just throw everything at it. Oh wait, that's okay. I guess it says something about the guy's character. That we both had the idea to just have the Warrior of Light not remember him. Right, that's it. Magitech down.
Damn it all! Miracles of Magitech design, my arse! I passed harder stools than these piles of scrap.
Right.
Pay for this. Mark my words, the next time we meet will be the last.
Oh.
Aye, run and tell your viceroy. The day belongs to Ala Mhigo. Yeah!
Yeah, he is one of those, for a repeat villain who seems to kind of develop a bit of a grudge. He's a bit more forgettable than the rest. Well done, all of you. I'd call this operation a resounding success. Can't say I'm surprised. The Bull of Ala Mhigo had an impressive military record before he went west, as I recall. Credit where it's due, Master Kemp. It was Marshal Tarpon who made this plan, and all of you, Resistance and Alliance alike, who carried it out to perfection. Aye, that they did. Not a single casualty, for which I'm grateful beyond words. I've no doubt our comrades back at the Reach will feel the same. As will ours. Well, that went well. It's been a pleasure, General. Until next time. Mhigo, I leave the Scions in your care. Alright. So now it begins. We shall return to the castrum. Sorin, Mistress Levier, once more you have my thanks. As Master Kemp said, until the next battle. Right, until the next battle. That's our first big victory against the Empire here, right? Balls in our court. I'd heard the stories, but to actually see you in action, I almost found myself pitying the Imperials. Seriously, though, it was inspirational. Well, thanks. I was just doing what I can, and, well, I'm beginning to get a bit... I've got a bit of experience at this whole fighting overwhelming odds thing. But you must be tired of hearing that, eh? I'll keep it simple then. Thanks for the help out there. Not a problem at all. So, on to the next battle, or... Well, there's no need to remain here any longer. Let's get back to the Reach. Oh, right. Guess see what the others are up to. Reach. Oh. I've actually just realised something, that I don't think I've attuned to the Aetheryte at Castromorians. Yeah, that's not on the list. I should make sure just to attune to this while I'm here. Right. And then to the Reach. And... Right. You didn't have to take part in the operation, but you did. You went above and beyond what was asked of you, without hesitation. And for that, we owe you a debt. You don't owe me anything, ma'am. I'm here to help, just like everyone else. Our victory may not count for much in practical terms, but its symbolic value can't be overstated. Alliance and Resistance fighters came together to face an Imperial unit equipped with Garlemald's newest weapons, and smashed them. The people will remember this day. Aye, that they will, for it marks the beginning of something far greater than any single victory. The beginning of a campaign by a united Eorzea to drive the Garleans from our lands. Yeah, he is a bit eclipsed by Xenos, isn't he? Promises and platitudes mean naught without action, but the Alliance took the field and risked their lives for our cause. To think that the last time Gridanian troops trod this soil was more than a century ago during the Autumn War, and that was to defend against our invasion. Ours is a long and bloody history, to be sure, and it gives me heart to see that despite our acrimonious past, we can still come together for the sake of the future. Well said, Commander, which is why I intend to go from village to village and spread word of our victory on our new alliance. The people will flock to our banners. Just you wait and see. Sorin, Alize, I cannot thank you enough for your assistance. Again, not a problem. Anytime. So, Commander, anything else I can do while I'm here? I don't actually know what else there is I can do around here. Owing to the efforts of you all, we have accomplished a great deal in a short time. The Resistance thanks you for your service, Scions. Oh. I see operations here have been proceeding apace in my absence. Welcome back, brother dearest. I take it your efforts to gather new recruits were successful. Indeed. There were several amongst the Scions' ranks that were quite eager to take part in our joint endeavour with Resistance, whom I am come to present. Arenvold! Commander Kemp, if I may. My name is Arenvold Lentinus, a half-breed, as you can doubtless tell. I'm here to fight for free Ala Mhigo, for an Ala Mhigo where women like my mother are never made to suffer. I pray you grant me this honour. You are a true-born son of Gyr Abania, same as me. 'Tis not my honour to grant, but yours to freely take. Welcome, brother. With our swelling ranks and the aid of the Eorzean Alliance and the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, I believe we will soon be in a position to seize the initiative. Once our new recruits have received sufficient training, I'll propose to General Alden that we draw up plans for an assault on Castellum Villadina. Then, in the meantime, we'll make what preparations we can. Right. Storming Castellum. I don't know quite if that's a bigger or a lesser task than Castrum, but it certainly looks smaller than Castrum Meridianum. The Royal Palace. Majestic mountains across the emerald dale. I know this anthem far better than I even know the actual British anthem. Distant shores of Orford to lakes of Aldenot.
Alliance forces have occupied Castrum Orients and taken up positions along the length of the wall. Our patrols have engaged their reconnaissance parties on site, but there have been no significant exchanges, save one. A unit tasked with field testing prototype Magitech weapons was attacked. The weapons were destroyed, with the unit sustaining near-total casualties.
Near total. Go on.
My lord, there was but a single survivor from the unit in question, which falls under my command. According to his report, they were ambushed by a contingent of Eorzean Alliance regulars, abetted by resistance insurgents.
A simple ambush and only one survivor. A fine day's work. The stubbornness to survive is not without worth. He may live. However, the 12th is no place for the weak.
He shall be relegated at once, my lord. As you say, the 12th is no place for cowards who count their lives more precious than the cause.
Indeed, indeed. We have no need of cowards.
My lord,
Cowards who defer critical missions to their subordinates, who hide within their castra, never meeting their prey in battle, never staring into the whites of their eyes. Why? When confronted with a heretofore unknown icon, did we surrender the wall to the Alliance? Because my honored father, in his infinite wisdom, has not seen fit to grant us leave to march on their lands. Accordingly, we have extended an invitation to our neighbors. Gyr Abania is where we shall host them. The field upon which we shall enjoy the sport of kings. Patience is paramount. Cornered animals may have spirit, but they are ultimately predictable and very poor sport. But if one dangles the promise of freedom before them while nipping at their heels to stoke their passion, then things become interesting. It is a delicate dance, one which asks much of my hounds. And so I put the question to you, my fellow huntsman. How shall we deal with these savages?
My lord, I have a proposal.
Silence, Ala Mhigo! You do forget yourself. Only by the grace of Lord Van Baelsar were you afforded a place here, and that in name alone. We have no need of your proposals, savage.
This savage yearns to hunt her own. The floor is yours, Commander.
Thank you, my lord.
It's that little scene that kind of, I think, helps make Xenos, for me at least, a somewhat like interesting villain. I like the ones who kind of have that. As evil as they might be, they are meritocratic. The Xenos doesn't care where his followers come from or what their past is. Kind of, Yeah. No. Who would have guessed that? Arenvold, was it? Good to meet you. For a long time, I struggled to make sense of that day at the Witkins. Oh yeah, he has been here for a while. I forget who gets introduced at what point. I've been playing for that long. Why I survived when Abra and Ollie didn't. Not anymore. There's a problem having poor memory. Right then, I've got duties to attend to. Mayhap we could assist you with said duties. We are here to help, after all. The three of you have been busy, so I will understand if you require time to rest. If not, however, it would seem sensible to assist our allies with their preparations. We'd be grateful for any and all help you can offer. If you ask around, I guarantee you won't want for work. No. To be fair, it's not just Arenvold. I was able to, when Nero showed up again, to suggest the whole Omega thing. My brain completely blanked on the fact that, oh yeah, he was there for a major part of the Crystal Tower story. Hello, sir. Anything I can do to help around here? I beg your pardon? The man who bested Guys von Balesar wishes to offer me his assistance. I say, this is highly irregular. Though I have heard it said you have a penchant for aiding the common man. In which case, before the occupation I was a humble historian. While my duties leave me scarce time for aught else, I think it important that these momentous events be recorded for the benefit of future generations. Primary sources are indispensable, and I had a mind to question a number of my fellow freedom fighters, ask them their motivations for taking up this cause and so forth. You may take down their statements in this log, and, Sorin, thank you for your service. Now and ever after. Yeah. My brain just just blanked completely on Nero having been like introduced without the helmet. Sorin before. I am still waiting on getting an appointment that might put me back on my ADHD medication. I think I've only estimated about, I think it's like 16 months left. Hello, sir. Just doing a bit of a survey of sorts. Just like, well, why I decided to sign up? Why'd I join the Resistance? Well, if you must know, it was to avenge a friend the Imperials butchered before my very eyes, back in Ala Mhigo. We owned a stall in the markets, and a passing soldier snatched up a piece of fruit. He spoke out before I could stop him, only to get a film of steel in the gut for his troubles. I found my way here, and that was that. I'm sorry for your loss, sir, but he'll be remembered. Yeah, it is the downside to having a public health system. Is I can get this kind of help for free, but I'm on a waiting list, and especially post-COVID, like a lot of waiting lists got backlogged. So there are private options, but they're a bit out of my price range. So it's, to be fair, the original wait they gave me was still shorter than what they'd originally told me to expect, which was, we're not going to help you. My first appeal, they decided, wasn't worthwhile enough to go into waiting list. But then a couple of months after that, I got a letter back again saying, okay, no, we have decided to put you on the list. Hello, ma'am. I'm here doing a bit of a survey, asking people, well, why they signed up with the Resistance. Just to keep a record, you know, for prosperity's sake. I was just a cook before all this. Simple fare, really. Had a chance to lend a hand and help feed some refugees one day. I took a liking to the fighters. They believed, you know. And there's always a need for cooks. Or at least people who can work with whatever the foraging parties turn up. Yeah. Well, I kind of get why. Like, the NHS is a bit overworked and understaffed at the minute. So cases like mine where it's doesn't cause me too much problem, like too many problems. Especially my job at the minute, it's working well enough with that because it's a lot of manual work. But my attention span and ability to kind of remember things when I need to is a bit limited. Aren't you that Icon Slayer? Yes, I am. I'm just wondering, sir, if you'd mind telling me why you joined Resistance? Just doing a bit of a survey, you know. Jot things down for prosperity. Damned if I know why you'd bother asking someone like me why I joined the Resistance. It's simple. If I wasn't fighting for Ala Mhigo, I'd be fighting for the Empire. You're either with him or you're not, and if you're with him, you may as well make the most of it. Food, training, citizenship if you live long enough. You'll die stealing someone else's land, like as not, but that's the choice. But me, I'd rather die here. Thank you for your time, sir. Yeah. No, it's not too bad of an issue, but it would be nice to kind of not completely blank on things that should be very obvious. Please take this 1-minute survey so we can provide better customer service. Yep. Excuse me, ma'am. Just here to, you know, do a little survey on why people joined. You know, just keep records. Why? Why indeed? To save lives, perhaps. Or to make amends for the ones I couldn't. My father and my brothers were worked to death while building a castrum. What did it matter to Garleans, eh? More where that lot came from. After that, I couldn't keep on doing nothing. Thank you for your time, ma'am. Right. That's a few reports. Should maybe get them back to a friend there. It's been... I feel like this last week has been one of the weeks it's been a bit worse for me. Even this very stream, I was half an hour late because I just... Once I got focused on a conversation, my mind just completely blocked out everything else. And then when I did start up, I forgot to change the language back from Japanese to English, which has happened before, but this time I'd made a conscious thought after I'd logged in as Sorin while I was getting OBS set up, right, I have to go and change the language. But in the time it took me to tab back into Final Fantasy, I managed to forget what I tabbed back in to do. Hello, sir. Well met, Sorin. Have you spoken with the freedom fighters as I asked? I have indeed. I spoke to a few people, and, well, here you go. As fascinating as they are varied. You have a knack for convincing others to bare their hearts to you. I could not have done better myself. Many years from now, when these tempestuous times pass into memory, their accounts will serve as a window into the struggle. We must never forget, my friend. Never. We won't, sir. I say, having just gone on a rant about how forgetful I am. No. So, genuinely, if it wasn't an instinctual thing, I'm the type of person who would genuinely forget to breathe. If I remember correctly, she spoke about needing foraging for food. I wonder if there's anything I can help with. Excuse me, ma'am. Anything I can give a hand with here? You want to help, do you? Seeing as how I'm in no position to leave this stew pot unattended, could you go and ask Teb for a variety of herbs? 6 sprigs or so of whatever he's got on hand should suffice. It's not as haphazard as it may seem. Depending on the recipe, it doesn't really matter what sort you add, as long as you add something. I'll be here when you get back. Right. I suppose recipes like that work well with whatever are probably quite good for a resistance faction. Oh, just go and fetch some herbs. Excuse me, sir. Teb, is it? I'm here to collect some herbs for a stew pot down at the... down by the tents there. Herbs is it? 6 sprigs of whatever's on hand? Afraid I can't spare that much. You'll take 2 and be glad of it. Okay, sir. The remainder you'll have to gather yourself. Shouldn't be too much of a bother, though. You'd be surprised what you can find growing underfoot, even under reach. Right. I guess supplies must be a bit scarce. Right, but just look for herbs growing around here. Right. These ones are... They smell nice enough to be edible, I hope. Oh. Have a good journey back. Oh, that's cold water. Right, these ones... I think these ones will work as well. Right. I'll maybe not steal whatever he's harvesting here. But yeah, it's... Yeah, well, it's kind of thing about things like ADHD and autism is they kind of affect everything you do a little bit. In my case, it's not, like, it doesn't really severely impact much, but it does make a difference. More herbs. Nice. So, if I can gather just a little bit more. Precisely what type of herb this is remains unclear, but the important thing is that this is green and fragrant. Right. Maybe these ones growing by the water are a little better? No, not seeing anything that seems particularly... Oh, this little one here's... Yeah, this one seems good. I'll take that then. And that should be 6 handfuls. Alright, so... From the looks of it, the good ones grow in the shade of the trees just by the base. Maybe need to keep that in mind. Never know when you might need some herbs to spice something up. Ma'am, I've got your herbs. 6 handfuls, right? I did have to gather a few on myself. Oh, thanks. That'll do nicely. And, sorry to impose upon you, sir. I thought you were another new recruit. I didn't realize until after that you were, But to answer the question that's probably on your mind, yes, it's always like this. Never enough food or supplies to go around. All the more reason to be grateful when our countrymen can spare some for the cause. Though that comes at a cost too. Too many villages, too many children more deserving than us. But a man can't fight on an empty stomach, can he? So we partake, as we must, and we never lose sight of the dream. Must be a hard choice to make. To feed yourselves knowing that it's costing the people you're trying to protect. But if you don't feed yourself, then you can't protect anyone. All the more reason we need to get the Empire out of here. Excuse me, ma'am. Can I help out at all? You look like a strider in search of comrades in need. If so, I have a task for you. I am a trainer, and I was told to expect new recruits this day, yet Area 1 has come. Perhaps they were given the wrong time or location. I do not know. They number 5 in all, these would-be warriors. Send them unto me, should you chance to find them. Of course, ma'am. It's recruits late for training. Guess I can always have a bit of a look around. See if there's anyone who seems to be slacking off, I guess. What's in here? Oh, this must be their... Oh. Excuse me, sir. I know, I'm late, but I had to say a prayer for my sister first. After what the Imperials did to her, death was a mercy. Sorry for interrupting, sir. It's... definitely can't shake the weight of this place off. It was different in Ishgard. The war they'd been fighting had been going on longer than any of us has been alive. You almost felt people were used to it there. But here it's... Huh? Training? Ah! I was so busy practicing to impress the others that I completely forgot. Thank you. No problem. That's... I suppose there's nothing particularly wrong with wanting to look cool, but maybe given the situation, that's not why you should be training. Right, anyone else? Excuse me, sir. You know, there was a training session on where... Ah, 1,000 pardons. So preoccupied was I by the question of whether Ala Mhigo should be a monarchy or republic that I neglected to attend my training. How silly, I know. Until we drive the Imperials from our lands, the question is moot. Still a question, I guess, worth thinking about? As is, Ala Mhigo was a monarchy before the Empire, right? Hello, sir. Just checking around. There's a training session going on at the moment. You wouldn't happen to be part of it? The teacher calls for me. I see. We were discussing strategies for disabling Magitech armor, you see, and... Ah, yes, of course. There's no time. If you would excuse me. Disabling Magitech armor. I wonder if I could stop by, maybe give a few hints. Anyone else? Maybe out towards the temple again. Oh. Sir? Are you okay? You wouldn't happen to be wanted at a training session at all, would you? Oh, bugger. You were sent by the snake, weren't you? I heard 1 in 4 recruits doesn't live through that training. That can't be true, right? Oh, bugger, oh, bugger. Snake, she's... At the very most, they're only half snake. Right? Well, that's all of them, I think. Maybe go back and check that they actually arrived there okay. She did say the location might be wrong as well. I don't see any of them. Did they find you, ma'am, at all? All recruits are present and accounted for. My thanks to you, Strider. Not all appreciate the rigor with which I train my recruits. Some favor a gentler approach, as if the Imperials will be so kind. It is a thankless job to teach, some say, but I say their survival is thanks enough. Fare you well. You too, ma'am. Keep them safe out there. Nope. Wonder if there's... Oh, that looks like someone in trouble. Hello, sir. Can I help out at all? Damn it all! Where could it have got to? Oh, pardon me, fellow lover of freedom and justice. You haven't seen a ward of the Destroyer anywhere, have you? Maybe on the ground, as if a certain bloody fool had dropped it. Aye, I'd been him. I had it this morning. This much I know for certain. I've not left the Reach since, so it's got to be around here somewhere. If you've got a moment to spare, would you be willing to help me search? I spent some time near the Temple of the Fist earlier, so it might be there. As for me, I'll look around near the Officer's Pavilion. They're hardly rare, I know, and I could just as easily buy another, but even so. Please, help me find it. Of course, sir. A ward of the Destroyer. And if I go check by the temple again... So, keep an eye out along this path for... Oh. Is that... Is this it? It's paper... Okay, I was expecting more like a small talisman or something, but maybe this is it. Sir? I swear I've searched high and low, but it just won't turn up. Would this happen to be what you're searching for, sir? 7 hells, that's the one! That's my lucky ward. You're a godsend, brother. Before I was born, my mother made a pilgrimage to the Temple of the Fist, where she, like many others, received the blessings of the monks. And then Fyodor came and burnt it all to the ground, the mad bastard. And after him came the Garleans, who cared even less for our beliefs. But I still keep to the old ways, as do many others. And when my son is born, I'll teach him the stories and the scripture, as my mother taught me. I'm glad I could get it back to you, sir. Well, wonder how the others getting on. Alphino? How have things been going? And with that, another task is complete. Ah, Sorin, I hear you've been keeping busy. I have indeed. How about you? Aye, Daddy has, and we thank him for it. It pleases me to inform you that our new recruits have completed their initial training and stand ready to contribute. As discussed, Mhigo, I would have you present my proposal for an assault on Castellum Villadina to General Alden personally. So they've got the plan for the assault. Of course, sir. And you and yours are you and yours planning to return to Castrum Oriens before the operation? If so, why don't we travel together? That seems a fine suggestion, but I must consult my comrades ere we depart. Very well, I'll wait for you to pass, but not too long. I expect Kryl and Y'shtola will wish to remain here to support the chirurgeons, but nevertheless, we should go and ask them. Don't want them feeling left out. Particularly Y'shtola. And it'll finally be time to take the fight. Well, to go on the offensive. Well, I suppose the attack on the ambush was on the offensive, but that was more they were coming through like Alliance territory. This'll be our first time really pushing back against them. Y'shtola? Kryl? How are things going here? Is aught amiss? Not really. We're going to head out to Castrum Oriens. I see. That would explain the sudden flurry of activity outside. This joint operation marks a turning point in our conflict with the Garleans. For the first time, the resistance in the Alliance shall go on the offensive and attempt to capture an Imperial outpost in occupied territory. Personally, I believe it is imperative that we offer them our full support. As was the case of Fishguard, however, this is not a choice to be made lightly, nor less on others' behalfs. This is war, and every scion must decide what part he or she would play. I'll fight, for Ala Mhigo, for my father, for Ida. I'm in it to the end. The choice was made for us ere we were born, brother, when the Empire marched on Eorzea. It will stop at nothing to subjugate or slaughter us all. Van Balzer and Van Darnus were but the first to try. Though your fervour is surprising, I cannot dispute your logic. At the risk of repeating myself, I am of course of the same mind. The present situation is untenable, and further complicated by the existence of Ilburd's primal. I believe we have no recourse but directly and openly intervene. I thought this a foregone conclusion, given our actions thus far. But if you require renewed affirmation, then yes, I am still wholly committed to this cause, for it is ultimately the self-same cause I have served since first I pledged to serve Master Louis Soir in the Circle of Knowing, the salvation of Eorzea, by any means necessary. That said, I shall refrain from taking the field on this occasion. There are many here who require further treatment, and doubtless more to come after. I came here from Infilia, and that hasn't changed. However, I'd like to stay with Y'shtola for now and tend to the wounded. Of course. As for you, Sorin, you are, to quote our dear friend Lord Edmond, the man who slew Gaius von Balzer and some half-dozen primals besides. Your presence may well prove the difference between victory and defeat. Many look to you as a hero, and heap great expectations upon your shoulders. But you, like every scion, must decide for yourself. Be very well. I do appreciate you can actually call him Alfie. Well, we need to press on. There's a lot of people being lost here, but many more we can still save. Well said indeed. Take care, Y'shtola, Kryl, and do not hesitate to contact us should you require assistance. Elise, I would ask that you remain here by Conrad's side. We should go, or Mhigo will leave without us. Might I persuade you to join us, Sorin? Should you wish to give your decision further consideration, Castrum Oriens would seem an apt place to do it. You need not answer right away. I'm sure I can convince Mhigo to wait a little longer. Right. I guess I'll see you at the Castrum then. Or... oh no, we are meeting. Oh. Got a little confused by how he was talking there. Off to storm another castrum. Alphino? Alize? Mhigo? Oh, so you'll be accompanying us. Full glad I am to hear it. All set? Excellent. Then let us be off. Right. And then it's kind of teleport anyway. Welcome back, comrades. What news? Greetings, General. I am Commander Kemp's behest to brief you on the latest developments at the Reach. Our recruitment efforts have exceeded expectations. In addition to welcoming many motivated young Ala Mhigans, our ranks have been bolstered by the arrival of a number of experienced veterans, thanks in large part to the efforts of the Scions. As a consequence, we are now able to field half a dozen new units, with more being trained as we speak. Good! I gather Conrad is eager to strike while the iron's hot. Just so, General. He proposes that we begin preparations for a joint operation to capture Castellum Veladina. Capture Veladina? That will not be easy. It will, however, be necessary if we are ever to push east towards the capital. There is no profit in delay. It's only a matter of time before the Gallians learn of our plans and summon reinforcements. The Alliance hereby accepts Commander Kemp's proposal. Tell him to take no chances. Bring every able-bodied Ala Mhigan who can wield a weapon. Pippin, I want Veladina watched. Assess its defenses. Every fortress has a weakness, and I would know this one's. If there's no objection, General, might the Scions join Marshal Tarpon? That sounds like a plan to me. By all means. If that is all, let us be about it. Right. Oh. Shall we be off? Conrad and the General have one mind, it seems. I only wish I could say the same. While this aggressive strategy may well profit us in the end, what losses will we suffer in the meantime? Anyway, we should speak with the Vice Marshal about his reconnaissance mission, and see how he would like to proceed. Right. Marshal? Thank you for volunteering to join me. This should be a fairly straightforward reconnaissance mission, so long as we do not have the ill fortune to run afoul of an Imperial patrol. Come, our destination is beyond East End, just north of Veladina. Well, I dealt with a few Imperial patrols already, so, well, I guess maybe it would be problematic if we were to cause too many more problems. Maybe better to try and keep things a little more on the down low. But at the same time, we don't want to be sneaky enough to imply that we're planning something. That is a big bug. I'm gonna avoid that one. Oh, bears. Yes. This is a village here. I wonder if this was the Imperials or... Right. So... Northern Veladina. There's a lot of wreckage around here. Looks like the Ala Mhigans definitely put up a fight when the Empire first came through here. Oh. Oh. God. Escape the bugs. Right. Marshal, sorry for the wait. This ought to be close enough. Now we settle in for a long watch. That said, it would be prudent to keep your weapons at the ready, in the event a passing patrol stumbles upon us, or worse. Time for the big scene. See anything of note?
Excellent. The disposition of the Imperial forces is exactly as expected. I will notify Father.
What was that?
Where did it come from?
The Castellum, or...
Smoke! There! Is that... Oh gods, it's Ralga's reach.
It's... What? That's... We need to get back there, right?
It's no use. I think someone's jamming our communications.
That's a...
You don't think... Could this be part of a coordinated attack?
Too early to draw conclusions. We must abort the assault and return to the Reach at once.
Yeah, right. No time to waste.
Traitor! Kinslayer!
You're no kin of mine!
Meffrid.
Well, well. Stand aside, Pilus. This one has promise.
Have a care, my lord. She's not like the others.
Do not disappoint me, girl, or I will kill you.
Seven hells! It's him! It's Xenos!
The Viceroy! Oh, you are a dead man! Ah!
So spirited, and yet so empty. Magical barrier. Alas, it will not save you.
Yashala!
Hold the line, Byrolga! Hold the line!
Right. Come on. Oh. Krell. Arnvold and Mhigo too.
Cryle!
Alphino!
Do you know?
Saw the smoke and thought we heard explosions. Are we under attack?
The Imperials were all over us before we realized what was happening. No one knew where to run or what to do. It was chaos. Lyse and Master Kemp rallied the guards and bought us enough time to get some of the wounded to safety, but I haven't seen either of them since.
Confound it! If we lose the Reach, this will all have been for naught.
Then we've got to get in there.
Arnvold, can you escort these people to the wall?
Aye, sir.
Our place is at the Reach. We must offer such aid and succor as we are able. Saving lives is now our paramount concern.
Right.
If we can hold back the Imperials until Father sends reinforcements, we may yet turn the tide.
I'll join you. I've done all I can for these people, and you'll be crying out for a healer in there.
I fear you're right. Come, there is no time to lose.
Right. Before we're too late. Right, we're here. No one's dying on my watch.
It's all over now!
Not letting anyone else die. Right. There's more people we need to save. Reapers. Leave him alone. You okay? Hold on there. Is everyone okay? Chocobos too.
For the glory of the flames!
Beastmen, but I think Alphino's right. Haven't seen them before. Must be from another Imperial territory. Oh. Those sort like that. Does that mean they're from Doma? Hold on there, sir. There's more of them. Skulls. Nope. Right, now focus on the commander. Wait, is that Y'shtola? Lyse?
What took you so long? Alpha, no, I need your help.
That's Commander Kemp. This is not good.
My lord, the prisoners! See to your men, Pilus.
Who's...
As you command, my lord.
Armor like that, he's got to be some kind of big shot.
Your friends were a disappointment. But you will entertain me, will you not?
I don't have the time to entertain you. But if it's a fight you want... I'm not letting you hurt any more of my friends today. I fought Imperial generals before. Right. In close and... It's not making a dent. What was that? I'm not done yet.
Give me something to remember.
I'm not done yet. Boys. He's hardly even trying. Oh. Ow. Come on. He's going for that again. I can... Oh. Didn't do anything. I can't do anything. understand. Is it... No! Oh!
Pathetic.
I can still go.
7 hells.
Shall we give chase, General?
Nay. There has been enough death this day. See to the wounded.
Lyse!
You all right, lad?
I couldn't do a thing, sir. I couldn't do anything.
Best knight of you. Xenos is not what I took him to be.
Xenos? Then that was... the Crown Prince? They're going to be okay, right?
Don't you die on me, Ashola! Hold on! Don't worry, it's going to be all right. Alphino, Master Kemp is all yours.
Understood.
Don't just stand there gawping. Hold her down while I work.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Sorry. Come on, Y'shtola. You made it out of Ildar. You can make it out of this, right?
The worst is past, but without the proper facilities, I can do no more.
Master Kemp too would be better served in the infirmary. Let us take them there without delay.
Give us a hand, would you, Lyse? Of course. I know you must be exhausted, but there will be others who need our help. Leave these two to us and look to the other wounded.
Of course. Yeah, right. I can still help people. General? You did well, Sorin. You saved lives. No matter what happens, remember that. Now then, let's do what we can for the wounded. Every minute counts. See to the wounded, Sorin. If they live, help them. If not, move on. Right. Yes, sir. It's... after everything, when was it, I wonder, that I stopped thinking I could lose? After Nidhogg and Forden and Ultima? No. Meffrid? He was already cold when I got to him. There was naught I could do. That charm must have been important. You'd best take it to Conrad. I will. This... Again, I just couldn't do anything to him. That's... Stola? She's okay, right? You're worried about your Stola, aren't you? It's too early to make any kind of prognosis, but she's alive, for now. Right. That's... Commander? Mhigo. Meffrid. Where are you? Mhigo's safe, sir, but Meffrid This is... He's dead, isn't he? Yes, sir. Meffrid was a warrior, always thinking about others before himself. He once had an Imperial patrol chase him nigh on 20 moms so that his wounded would have time to escape. His comrades loved him for it, of course, though that only made him worry more. Did you know that he sent his men in Quarrymill away because he thought they were fighting for him and not the cause? Aye, well, he did. The only life he was willing to risk was his own, you see. But that's exactly the kind of man who should be leader. The kind of man who deserves to survive. Not an old fool who's all used up. There's no logic to it, Master Kemp. There never is. Who stands, who falls. In the heat of battle we can but do our best, as he did. Meffrid will be sorely missed, aye. But because of his sacrifice, many now live who otherwise would not. And they need us, now more than ever. Aye, that they do. Forgive me, I had high hopes for him, is all. Marshal? Do you know much more about the situation? How are things looking? Our defeat was no near thing. It was total, a humiliation. We were powerless to withstand our enemy's assault. But we cannot afford to dwell on our failure. As Alphino said, it is those who survived whom we must think of now. Rhalga's reach is no longer safe. The Imperials may have withdrawn, but they could return at any time to finish what they began. We dare not remain here. Those who are not fit to make the journey to Castrum Oriens will need to be taken by chocobo carriage. Agreed? Right. Yes, sir. Good. I shall oversee preparations for the carriages. In the meantime, I would have you scour the infirmary for any supplies that might prove useful during the journey. Right. Supplies. I guess I should check with the woman in charge. Ma'am? Are there any supplies we could take for the journey? Forgive me, but it is imperative that I continue preparing medicines for the wounded. If you desire treatment, I must ask you to seek it elsewhere. No, ma'am, I'm looking for stuff to take with us for the people being moved to Castrum. Oh, I see. In that case, you're free to search the barber and take that which you require. I would not have our people dying en route. I would assist you, but this process demands my undivided attention. Of course, ma'am. Right. that's helpful for... And... this, perhaps... I'm more used to magical healing. I'm not quite sure what's effective here. Sorry for interrupting. And... these... Sir? Sir! Marshal Tarpon said you might have something for me. Yes, supplies. For any of the injured on the way. 12 be praised. This should put the driver's hearts at ease. Tell the Vice Marshal we await his orders. Y'shtola and the others are safely strapped in. Don't worry. I'll be by her side the entire time. Thank you, Krile. I'll walk alongside. They'll need protecting in case the Garleans try anything. Hang on. You're injured too, aren't you? Shouldn't you be in one of the carriages? I'm not so frail that I can't make the trip on my own. Besides, there's still work to be done here. I'll see you at the wall when it's finished. As you wish. Then let us set forth at once. We shall move as quickly as our comrades' health allows. The Castromorians! So, you doing okay, Commander? You saved a good many of my men, and I cannot thank you enough for that. But the fact remains, our forces were decimated. In this state we'll not be mounting an assault on Castum Veladina or anywhere else. We need to be honest with ourselves about our prospects. But first, we need to put our affairs here in order. Afterwards, I'll join you all at Castromorians. Understood. We will go and speak with General Aldin. Right. How do we come back from this? Don't even know where to start. Pippin has already departed with the wounded, has he? Good. We have completed our search of the Reach and the surrounding area. As far as we can tell, Xenos and his men returned straightways to Specula Imperatoris after quitting this place. It would seem he's lost interest in us. Which brings us to the most troubling question of all. Not how he found us, but why he chose to spare our lives having done so. In war, you kill or capture your enemy. You don't leave him to fight another day. Only a fool would turn his back and walk away, but Xenos is no fool. Whatever his motive, this is neither the time nor the place to think on it. I will leave a token force to leave over the Reach. The rest will fall back to Castromorians. We can discuss our path forward there. Right. Back to the wall and... I don't... However we fight back, if... Xenos steps out onto the field again, then... Lyse? Did everyone get here okay? Krile is with Y'shtola. She still hasn't woken up, but Krile says she's through the worst. Given the severity of her wound, we could have hoped for no more. Let us pray she makes a full recovery. We lost a lot of good people, didn't we? Too many. I saw it happen. When that Skull's commander cut down Meffrid. A single blow and that was it. Everything he fought for, all his hopes and dreams for the future, gone in an instant. Do you want to know the worst part? It wasn't a Garlean who did it. It was an Ala Mhigo. Gods help me if I ever... No, not now. Not while the general's waiting. Oh, Lyse. It's...
Were it not for the swift actions of the Scions and the Alliance, many more would have died. You risked your lives to save ours. And for that we thank you.
There's nothing to thank us for, sir.
No need for thanks. We are allies, are we not?
Aye, just so. Let us not dwell on this tragedy, but look to the future.
The future? I'm sorry, General, but there is no future for us. We've lost too many. Gods, I can still see Meffrid with that woman standing over him. They've ripped the heart out of us, General. They've broken us. Our fight is over.
Master Kemp, please.
I'll always hate them with every fiber of my being. For what they took from us then and now. Our homeland, our freedom, our bloody children.
You mean the Skulls? The youths who fight for Xenos?
Grania Lupi, the Black Wolf's legacy and our shame. A unit made up of children born to Ala Mhigo dignitaries who came of age during the occupation. Sons and daughters of Gyr Abania, raised to be proud citizens of the Empire, with all the rights and responsibilities that entails. It'd be easy to curse them and call them traitors, but they're our children. Our flesh and blood. If the only way to forge the future we want is to cut down our own, then...
Then what was it all for?
Nargo?
What will you say to the families of the fallen? To the mothers, and the widows, and the orphans? Will you tell them it was all for nothing?
Listen to the girl. We dare not suffer our comrades' sacrifices to have been in vain. Now is the time to steel our resolve and press on, painful though it may be.
And when Xenos comes back with his army, what then? This isn't the first time, you know. You'll be hard-pressed to find men brave or stupid enough to face him again.
I still can't believe how strong he was. He humiliated us back there. The Warrior of Light included. Gods help us if he's next in line to the Garlean throne.
Loath though I am to say it, we should not be surprised. Before succeeding Van Baelsar in Ala Mhigo, Xenos led the Imperial army to Doma, where he crushed the rebellion utterly. As a matter of fact, Doma remains in his charge to this day. Suffice it to say, Varus's heir is a peerless warrior and an accomplished general. The question is, how are we to contend with such a foe?
I'm guessing you have a plan, Alphino? You normally do, right?
Well, to put it simply, we have one legatus overseeing two provinces a world apart. I say we divide and conquer. We kindle the flames of revolution in Doma once more, thereby forcing Xenos to fight a war on two fronts.
We go to Doma?
For that, there would need to be someone left to fight on this front by the time you got back. Look, I'll not deny the plan as promised. And I feel for our brothers and sisters in Doma, truly I do. But I fear we lack the strength to see it through.
Have faith in your people, Master Kemp. Them and the Scions. Hold fast, rebuild. And when all is in place, we shall defeat Xenos together.
If you're going to Doma, I'm coming too. I want to help our friends there. And make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
Right. It's not over.
Give us the time we need, and we will give you something far greater.
Very well. For all you have done for us, we will fight on. But be swift, comrades. Ala Mhigo has suffered enough.
Right. It has. Alphino? It goes without saying, but the Scions alone have not the strength to topple the provincial government, here or anywhere else. And I am quite certain the same can be said of the Doman Liberation Front. Nevertheless, we can but go and assess the situation for ourselves, and see what can be done. Unless you doubt what good we few can accomplish, I would remind you that my grandfather and his 12 disciples once journeyed to these lands to save Eorzea and her people from certain doom. Brave souls for an impossible task. And Eorzea lives on. Our present mission may not be as monumental in scope, but it is no less important to the multitudes whom we would free from Imperial oppression. Whom we will free. Right. So, there's just a... how do we get to Doma? It's pretty far away, right? Where men go as one, there is life, and where there is life, there is cause to hope. Our grandfather believed that, and so do I. But before we can forge ties with our friends in the Far East, we must first find a way to reach them. Offord is not exactly over the river and through the woods. I am one step ahead of you, dear sister, or rather, Tataru is. But before we discuss that, there is another issue I wish to address. Much as I would like if we could all make this journey together, someone will need to remain to serve as liaison to the Alliance and the Resistance during this critical period. Moreover, as Y'shtola cannot be left unattended, then I should obviously remain. Very well, issue addressed. You know, Alphino, it would have been quicker just to ask, and markedly less patronizing. Yes, I suppose, would you be willing to look after Y'shtola and provide support to Arenvald and the others? Yes, Alphino, I would. You see, that wasn't so hard, was it? Enjoy your trip, and don't you dare return with a gift. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. Right then, sister, Sorin, Lyse, gather your things. We're for Limsa Laminsa. Right. Back home. But even if we have new plans, a new strategy, that might work on a large scale, but how do we fight Xenos himself? I'm still missing something. He was able to fight so well without... Yeah, Garleans can't even use magic, so... Everything he was doing was just through strength. It didn't feel like there was too much magitech involved. Unless... I need to get stronger as well. I think I've been relying on magic for a little bit too long. And, well... I've learned a little bit about using a sword. Maybe I can look into... some skill I can use to fight back against him. Tataru should be here any moment with our ship's captain. So we're going by sea after all. As Merle will lend us our pick of the Crimson Fleet. Not exactly. You are right inasmuch as we will be travelling by sea. Regrettably, it is simply not feasible for an airship to travel such a distance without impossibly large fuel reserves, to say nothing of the inevitability of running afoul of the Empire's aerial defences. But then it is equally infeasible to sail an Eorzean Alliance vessel halfway around the world without the Empire taking notice. Which leaves us with only one other option. Ah, speak of the devil. Sorry to keep you waiting. May I present to you Captain Carvelin of the Kraken's Arms. Kraken, they're one of the pirate groups around here, aren't they? The Kraken's Arms! Don't tell me you made a deal with pirates. Greetings and salutations, scions. I take it from your comrade's tone that you no longer wish to proceed with our proposed arrangement. Not at all, Captain. Pray forgive my sister her outburst. She has ever been one to speak her mind. I, on the other hand, am the very soul of discretion, as many well-respected personages would attest, from the offices of the Admiral to the high houses of Ishgard. Ah, but where was I? Oh yes, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn do indeed still wish to employ your services. However, it is important that you are aware of certain extenuating circumstances. And intent on securing passage to the Far East, you came to us, knowing us to be the proud purveyors of said region's finest spices, which you steal from God-fearing merchants out on the high seas. Whatever privateering the Kraken's Arms may or may not engage in is strictly within the limits of the law, as set forth by our indefatigable keeper of the peace. More to the point, we are pragmatists. I see considerable risk in aiding your cause, and negligible profit. Well, I for one think the captain has a point. The five seas can be extremely treacherous, and many a poor, unfortunate soul has come to grief out there in the waves. Why, when we were in Ishgard, I heard the tragic tale of how the heir to House Durandare vanished at sea. Even now, nearly 20 years later, the poor count remains convinced that his son still lives, and would pay a sultan's ransom for news of his whereabouts. Mr. Taru? Wait, is... Truly a tragedy for the ages, and a testament to the misfortunes that may befall us should we out of act due consideration. But so long as you are prepared to abide the capricious whims of fate, I am willing to oblige you this once. That said, in light of the recent rebellion, I trust you understand that I cannot deliver you to Doma itself. I can take you only as far as Kugane, in Hingashi. We will require time to procure sufficient provisions and make ready for departure. I humbly suggest you do the same. So... long story short, we're waiting for a bit. Alpha? Suddenly, all those hours Tataru passed cavorting and capering at the Forgotten Night seem rather better spent, do they not? That said, I had intended to press the point more obliquely. There was something disconcerting about the pleasure Tataru took in making Captain Carvelin squirm. Well, I think we know enough not to get on Tataru's bad side, Alphino. I say we should heed the captain's advice and attend to our own preparations while they ready the vessel for departure. Tataru and I will procure the necessary supplies. Alize, I should be grateful if you would use the time to brief Urianji on recent developments. You may also wish to review the relevant safety procedures in the event of an emergency at sea. How very prudent of you. Very well, I shall go and speak with him. What of Sorin and Lyse? I would like the two of you to return to Revenant's Toll and speak with our Doman allies. I fear we know too little of their homeland, and any information they can provide would be most welcome. When we've completed our respective tasks, we will reconvene here at the ferry docks. Agreed? Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Sorin. Right. I guess we gotta... some time before... In which case... there's something I remember seeing that... I'm going to investigate. And, well... if I'm correct, it somewhat falls in with Alphino's task to learn more about Doma. going out there to wage war on Xenos. Oh. There, I think I heard this guy talking about something else before. False balls! Just when you think you've seen it all. The world's full of surprises. What am I talking about, you ask? Oh, nothing much. Just the most amazing blade work I've ever seen. It wasn't even the main card either, but light entertainment. A Far Eastern fellow, old enough to be my grandfather, appeared and called for challengers. But who should answer him but a brute of a gladiator? People thought it was either mummery or a sick joke. After all, what could one expect from such a mismatch? The old and infirm versus the young and informed. But when the action began, the old man proceeded to drop everyone's jaws, his opponents not least of all, with his blistering blade work. Most riveting moment, though, was when he had to challenge on the back foot. For instead of finishing the job, he went and sheathed his blade. Putting your steel away in the heat of battle, well, that's akin to committing suicide. This wasn't lost on the gladiator, who lunged in with a mighty swing. The spectators gasped collectively, thinking it was over. And it was, but not for the old man. For the next instant, before anyone could comprehend what had happened, his opponent was crumpled on the ground. In one fell stroke, and with impossible speed, the old man had drawn his sword and dealt a telling blow. A few heartbeats passed in stunned silence, and then the stands erupted in riotous cheering. Gods, just recounting it gives me the chills. The speed, the precision, the elegance. Simply sublime. How's it possible I had never heard of these Far Eastern warriors, these samurai? But, wait, are you thinking what I think you're thinking, and you want to face the old man? Well, that silver-tongued showmaster was looking for a new challenger, but you don't want to do this. Let someone else be the fool. No. It's not so much I want to challenge him, but I was right. Samurai. I'd heard it thrown around a bit, and I thought it was just a gladiator name, but after meeting Gosetsu... And if that blade work really is all he says it is, then maybe it's something I can use against Xenos. Yeah, Gladiators Guild. Hello there. Come one, come all, and marvel at a mystery of the Far East, a swordsman hailing from exotic Hingashi, whose blade work is quicker than the eye can see. Don't let his age fool you. Old though he may be, he's already made short work of one of Ul'dah's meanest gladiators, and he now seeks a new challenger. If you can best him, you'll be rewarded with a rare Hingan treasure. There's just one condition. You must fight with the same blade as the old man's. If you think you have what it takes, proceed to the Gladiators Guild and make yourself known to the Far Eastern Elder. So we're to challenge him with the same sword? Right. I guess I've seen Gosetsu fight once. Excuse me, sir. This aura, unusual yet undoubtedly formidable. Dare I hope a worthy challenger has come. Well met, friend. I am Musosai, a samurai of Hingashi. Lest you wonder, samurai are swordsmen of the Far East. Yet know that the swords we wield are unlike those of this land. Katana, they are called. And for our duel I shall lend you such a blade, along with a stone. A talisman of sorts. Wear them on your person and you shall become one of us. At least in appearance, if not in sooth. Right, a soul stone. I guess this'll certainly help. So... let's... Unable to change classes or jobs at this time? Job specific gear equipped? Okay, there we go. Right, this is a little unusual to wear. But it could be worse. So... Oh, something I just need to do quickly. Where's my HUD layout? Bring that down there. Right, it's a bit different from the swords I'm... Well, the rapiers I've used as a mage. And need to organize this mess. Right. Okay. I think I've got what the soul stone's about. I guess I see if I've actually got what it takes to learn this. And maybe this is what I can use to deal with Xenos. Ah, yes. In your gaze I see the stirrings of a newborn samurai. Tis plain the stone has already bequeathed some of its memories unto you. Yet having the memories is one thing, mastering them quite another. We shall see how well you fare against me. Prepare yourself, young samurai. We begin as soon as you are ready. Right. No magic this time, just me and a sword. Gather ye round and bear witness, for another brave challenger has appeared. Next to face Musasai, Swordsmaster of the Far East, we have an itinerant adventurer. Well, well, this is... I haven't fought in a tournament like this since... Well, that little adventure with the Inspector. Right. Hold it right there. No one gets to take down that old bastard except me. Berold the Lost Standing, Scourge of the Sands. Excuse me? Hello? You made a fool of me earlier, but this time there'll be no tricks. This time I fight with my own sword, not that pathetic excuse for a needle you handed me. What's this? Boneheaded Berold, who is so roundly troused, but moments ago has invaded the Blood Sands. For those who came in late, he's the disgraced gladiator who was cast out of the Colosseum for, and I paraphrase, being an all-round odious brute. The rules were plain, and you agreed to them. There were no tricks. Shut your mouth and fight me again! Such eagerness for blood. The warriors of this land are as naked blades. Wait. Did that just... I'll get you next time! And with that distraction out of the way, we may continue where we left off. Right, at the beginning. Right. Need to be careful. But he can't be worse than Xenos. Right. Right. Okay. I think I'm seeing this. And... like that. It's definitely different than... It's not magic, but the soul stone's working like the others. Just let the memories flow. And again. Maybe try something different. How about this one? And one more. Victory? So this might be it. In a weird way, it feels almost a little similar to how Zenos fought. To draw forth such strength from the stone in so short a time, you are no ordinary man. Well, I want to argue, but at this stage I think I kind of have to accept that one. As promised, I shall bestow upon you the rarest of Hingan treasures. Training in the way of the samurai. Training? That's actually perfect. What is the matter? Our techniques are not found in this land, hence their great worth. As my pupil, you would train under my watchful eye and learn even the most puissant of my techniques. Why, you lying bastard! All that fighting and there wasn't even any coin in it! What's this? Boneheaded Berolda's back, and this time he's brought friends. This man doesn't know when to give up. You got a problem? Come down here and say it! At no point was it said that the treasure is an object, let alone coin. Besides, winning it was well beyond you. Shut the hells up! This time I'll show you my true strength. Your strength lies in numbers, 'twould seem. Very well. If you insist on another trouncing, then so be it. But know that this time 'tis not I who will deal it, but my pupil. Sir? Having seen your potential firsthand, he and his ilk ought not pose you any trouble. Are you sure? Right. Whoever he is, take care of him too. I guess nothing like live practice. Oh. Archery's a bit... that feels like cheating to me. Don't bring a bow to a sword fight. So, who's next? Axes. I fought far tougher axe wielders than you. Right. And now the man himself. Right. Oh! Ow! Don't quite have the same way to just run away. Ow! Mr. Musasai? Sir? I guess he doesn't need to dodge. Ow! Quite quick, not quite quick enough. No! What do you think you're doing? Mr. Musasai? Sir? It's hardly affecting him. I think if anyone can teach me the skills I need to fight Xenos, it might be him. Sir? Forgive me, I know it was wrong to force that fight upon you, and yet I find I do not regret having done so, for it reaffirmed beyond any doubt the promise I had glimpsed in you. Long did I search in my native land for a pupil, but I found none fit to be a vessel for my knowledge. The problem, I concluded, lay in my people's way of thinking, the zeal with which they uphold tradition to the detriment of all else. So it was that I set forth for a new land, this Hare's Ear. I placed myself in the midst of your most able swordsmen, offering myself up as a spectacle in hopes of finding a worthy soul. And find him I did, in you. Now I realize how all this may appear. To you, I could be but a strange old fool spouting nonsense, but I am well past caring about appearances. I saw your strength in there, sir. I'm completely trust you on this one. I speak with all earnesty when I say there is none other into whom I would pour my knowledge. And so I ask you, will you consent to being my pupil? I will, sir. Words cannot well express my joy. From this moment on, we are master and student. Now then, I would know your name. By what are you called? Sorin Sherwood, sir. Sorin. 'Tis a fine name. Without further ado, Sorin, we shall commence your training. Pray join me at the nearby tavern. The Slick Hand. The Slick... I believe it's Quick Sand, sir? Right. Well, at least I hope that's what it was talking about. Otherwise, this is off to a bit of an awkward start. Mr. Musasai, sir? I shall begin at the very beginning. In the distant past, Hingashi underwent a period of strife, during which numerous opposing factions vied for supremacy. The Age of Blood. In this age, full many took the battle with katana in hand, and in the crucible of war our art was forged, the way of the samurai. Eventually the realm was unified under one banner and peace reigned once more. The people set aside their katana, save for we samurai. who continue to wield it as a symbol of authority, and with that authority comes a grave responsibility, protecting the peace. To ensure that the Age of Blood is never repeated, we samurai seek out the wicked and bring them to account. In so doing, we ward off chaos and preserve order in the realm. Such is our calling. Hingashi or Herzir, it matters not where we are. This calling guides us always. To that end, we shall journey the land, you and I, on a quest to right wrongs. As one who has grasped the foundations of our art, it is your surest path to mastery. Our efforts begin in this very city. I shall cast about for evil that has taken root here, and then we may proceed to excise it. Hello, sir. Well now, that certainly got exciting quick, but with some even quicker thinking, I managed to set up a wager and turn a tidy profit. Mhigo, I owe you a debt of gratitude. Thanks to you, I have found my pupil at long last. I pray that you will live comfortably with your winnings. Actually, I had a mind to join you. Wherever you go, I sense the coin will follow. And besides, it seems you're planning to root out evil in our fair city. If so, you'd do well to have me along. With my connections, I can procure the information you're like to need. And there's a small matter of your complete and utter lack of knowledge of Eorzea. There is that indeed. Had fate not seemed fit to unite us, I never would have found my way here from Fester Bay. And I wouldn't be standing here breathing. If anyone knows anything, it's me. You saved me from those cutthroat bandits when I tried recruiting them for the Colosseum. Terribly reckless in hindsight. As for you, my friend, to be marked up by old Musasai himself, you must be made of uncommon stuff indeed. Not to put the pressure on, but I have the highest hopes for you. And here we are then. I shall undertake my search with Mhigo's help. Until such time as there are developments, pray continue honing your newfound skills. I will, sir. I do just need to report in to some friends. But... Oh, yeah, just lag. But I think that will be it for tonight. It's going on a bit longer than normal. It's like 1 AM. And I think it's been like a 2.5 hour stream, but I wanted to get to this point. So... I'll be doing some leveling up with Sorin off screen to hopefully get to level 60. So on Friday I plan for the stream to be for Sorin to blitz through the samurai quests. So that next Wednesday we can get back into Stormblood. This is the last job change I have planned for Sorin before Shadowbringers. There is partly a reason why I hadn't originally planned to go Samurai. My original plan was to stick through Red Mage and then kind of just have like one change per expansion. But I'm quite interested in doing all the role quests with Sorin. So that does involve getting melee DPS unlocked. But then, yeah. Depending on how the leveling goes, it is possible there won't be a stream on Friday. I am hoping there will be, but 10 levels in one day can be a bit... I suppose, just depends on how much time I'm able to sink into it. But otherwise, I'll be back as well on Saturday with Amnesia, before returning to Final Fantasy 1 on Monday. But other than that, thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. And, well, if any luck, I'll see you in the next stream. Until then, have a great evening, and good night.